I got a question. If Randy Orton punt kicked Cody at WrestleMania, why in the world Cody Rhodes showed up to Raw if he's not gonna even sell it? He could have, even if he showed up to SmackDown, I think that might have been too early. But you show up to Raw. Like, damn, like, you couldn't sell it for 1 week? He punt kicks you Saturday night, and you show up on Raw with a black eye. Like, damn, like, they couldn't let CM Punk just have his moment, and then, man, even if he would have showed up Friday, you would have been like, okay, that's basically almost a week, but in wrestling time, that's not. Like, damn, so Randy Orton punt kick don't mean anything no more. Cody just no-sells it on Raw, and he's ready to fight the next opponent. It's like, what was the point of the punt kick? Okay, Randy, you lost. Okay, you could have punt kicked him. That would have been, something, but I mean, man, like, come on, like, I don't even understand this show no more. You get punt kick. Punt kick gotta at least take you out 1 full week. Come on. Like I would have even punt kicked Cody and maybe had him out to the point where he would have to relinquish the title to Randy. Like, Randy does whatever it takes, to get the title. Now Randy Orton could just go to the back of the line. Like, Cody already trying to fight Punk. Cody is already trying to fight Punk, and you didn't even get your get back on Randy. This is supposed to be Menace Orton, the worst Orton there is, and he punt kicks you, gives you, that's his, like, ultimate finisher, the punt kick, and Cody no-sells it and comes to Raw, ready to fight Punk. Like, does this make any sense at all to anybody? Black eye and everything. Now, I don't even know if that black eye was real or not. Maybe. I doubt, but I don't know. I don't think the black eye is real, because who would take that risk to get kicked in the face? Like, for real. But that is wild. He just no-sells the punt kick. I mean, if you're gonna do that, just have Randy put you through a table or RKO on the steel steps or something. Like, beat Cody up, put the steel steps in the ring, and RKO him on the steel steps. And even that, I still don't think that should have been no-sold on Raw. And they are mixing brands right now. Like, why is Jacob Fatu trying to challenge Roman on Raw? Go fight Cody. Like, that was the whole point. You was trying to get the WWE Championship. You're on SmackDown. Why do you even want to go after the B title and fight Jay and Jimmy them? Like, it's the B title. Go fight Cody. But they wouldn't dare let Cody lose to Jacob. They wanted that 50-50 booking instantly. But they know they can have Roman squash Jacob. Like, go in the TKO versus WWE storyline. Like, that's what makes me think they're just going to erase that. Because now you're trying to build up to Punk versus Cody. And where the hell does Jacob Fatu come from saying at Backlash he won his title shot? Bruh, you on SmackDown. Like, you're on SmackDown. How in the world could Nick Aldis make this match? And why would we even make this match? Like, Cody versus Jacob is more plausible than Jacob Fatu just going after Roman. Like, we should have had Roman versus Jacob last year instead of Bronson Reed all over the place. When Solo was making a name for himself and he recruited Jacob, we should have got Jacob versus Roman. But the fire was hot. They didn't want to do it. Now we got this watered down Jacob Fatu. He beat Drew, just took Drew's shine away. You know, for no reason. Why isn't Jacob Fatu worried about Tama Tonga? He's the one that took you out. Bust all your teeth out your mouth. You should be going after the MFTs. Nope, you still went after Drew for no reason because Drew didn't do it. Drew wasn't even the one that did it. Cody wasn't the one that did it. But you're mad at the tribal chief. Why? Because you're jealous that he's the tribal chief. And you're on Raw now. You know what? Like, this is just dumb. They should push LA Knight. They should stop this nonsense. Triple H needs to be fired. They want to blame TKO, Triple H the scapegoat. Y'all need to stop. TKO is going to tell you, hey, maybe can we get to this main event? You know, TKO ain't booking week to week. Stop. TKO is not booking week to week. That's Triple H. If they said they want Tama Tonga versus Trick Williams in the main event at Backlash, it's Triple H's job to get there. And honestly, a 4-year-old could book that for 4 weeks to make a nice story. I think anyone with a brain can book that. At least make that make sense. You know, especially if you're a wrestling fan. But Cody Rhodes no selling, the punt kick, where does that, what is Randy Orton doing now? Because clearly CM Punk and Cody gonna have something going on. So what's the point? You know, Randy Orton, I read something like he's gonna do a part-timer schedule where he pops up randomly for WrestleMania. He's not going to get that title again ever. That tells you right there he will never get that title again. This was the perfect time to get the title again. Nope, scratch that. We're going to use Randy Orton for cheap pops. So for the next 3 to 4 years, expect to see a dumb Randy Orton random match every now and then, just for a pop at WrestleMania. And trust me, he will job out. You're gonna get Randy Orton versus Trick Williams WrestleMania, so he could job out. You're probably gonna get, you know, Trick versus Oba, not Trick, Orton versus Oba, randomly jobbed out. You know, Randy Orton versus Royce Keys. Hell, you might as well give Randy Orton versus Rhea Ripley and let Randy Orton job out to Rhea Ripley. Like, it's that sad right now. You know, Randy Orton versus Cody, WrestleMania 50, the rematch. You know, Cody had the title for 1,000 days and Randy Orton jobs out. You know, whatever, but damn, y'all, Cody Hogan. Y'all talking about Rhea Hogan? Cody Hogan, man. Cody Hogan. That's all I gotta say. Cody Hogan. You know, y'all put in the comments like, why Cody not selling the punt kick?